I believe there is room really for both, either or sometimes both at the same time. You have some deployments where there are 2 or 3 servers, and one of them maybe it's a backup server, always has to come back to the vault after you're out there. Some of them have to be on premise because that's where you have better control of exactly how much hardware you can throw at it. Maybe you can scale it up better when it's not in a VM with limited number of cores. Maybe you have an easier access to increase the amount of RAM. Maybe you have some other things, pop in a new SSD drive to make it go faster. There's a variety of things that you can do on premise, and there's a number of things you can do quite easily better when it's in a cloud or when it's in a VM and in a number of other scenarios. So it's really a case-by-case scenario, and I don't think that the day will come where it's only everybody in the cloud or everybody back to on-premise. Now, you may have scenarios where you need to be in the field. On-premise doesn't mean necessarily in a building, or it might be in somebody else's building. So you travel to location, you may be in the field doing some forensics research, collecting data, and you need to translate as you're interviewing, perhaps you're doing a number of things that need to travel with you, and that may be in places where you don't have access to the internet, where you may not have reliable or fast enough access to actually connect to your server on secure communications. So there's plenty of cases where one will triumph over the other, and I don't think it's going to be one or the other. There are different aspects of security you have to consider. When it's in a cloud, you could say, well, somebody else is using the same server. No, you can have it dedicated to you. So it's a hosted solution just for you. It's in the cloud, you access it over the internet, but it's not accessed by others. You can have IP address identification for who is asking for that, which application. You can filter a number of ways to make sure it's only translating material that's being requested by who is agreed, who is permitted to do so. And then, of course, the other thing, even on-premise, doesn't mean necessarily somebody could go in and steal that server, right? If it's on a laptop or on an Intel NUC or something like that, if it's on a small mobile box, it is more physically removable because you actually did that perhaps because you want to be able to remove it to bring it back to a vault, but somebody else might beat you to it. Depending on when it's in a cloud or on-premise, it's a different approach as to how you maintain it, how you update something, for instance, with new releases, new translation engines. You have to download it at some point, or we can deliver it. Sometimes we deliver it on a hard drive that they make sure it's clean before they give it to us. They check again, it's still clean after they receive it back from us. So yeah, sometimes it's a thumb drive, and we're certainly aware of the risks with external media going from one computer to another. And our customers certainly insist on having it very secure at that level too. So we have a variety of mechanisms by which an update might be delivered. We might send the software to a different system where they can download it, and then they transfer it themselves into their on-premise. We never see where it is. It might be on an aircraft carrier, it may be around in orbit. We've been in many different places where machine translation needs to be.